Yes, that is the Purge alarm, almost a scene out of a dystopian Orwellian movie, but this is actually real life unfolding here in New York City. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org, and I think it's fair to say that things have gotten a little haywire, to say the least, as people are prioritizing emotions over logic, mob mentality over truth, and that's why in this video we are going to be doing our best trying to counter that by examining exactly what is happening right now as society spirals out of control, and the New York City mayor, New York governor, and president of the United States are currently arguing, which of course we're going to be focusing on in this video. And before we do that, plus a lot more, we have to keep this independent media operation afloat somehow. And this is why we just started working with VPN City, a virtual private network that adds an extra layer of privacy security, can help spoof your location to many countries all around the world, could even help you save money through changing your location when you book travel deals, helps you stream sporting events that you can't get in your country that are usually blocked. This of course also includes Netflix and websites that some governments in some countries don't want you to see. This is a product that I like, that I personally use. You could get started for very cheap. They have an affiliate deal set up that we are using right now, and if you use them through our link, you also help us out at the same time. So check out VPN City with the link down in the description below. Now, if you remember, just a couple days ago, I've been very vocal and active on my Twitter account, specifically about how there has been many instances where the New York City Department is literally standing around, sometimes driving in circles, as of course massive crime and looting is taking place all around the city. All of this while, of course, there's even this egregious case a few days ago that I specifically highlighted, where Fox News was on the ground and documented how for 5 hours police officers who were on the same block stood around as many businesses on the same block that they were standing on were being looted. And it looks like in many instances my assertions about a police protest or the police standing down have been accurate, as last night we got information that officers were told not to engage in vehicle pursuits of looters, and also the bigger drama that's unfolding between the NYPD, the mayor of New York City, the governor of New York, and of course the president of the United States. As of course many people were left on their own, and pandemonium just took control of life here in New York City. Now first, let's highlight some of the initial tensions that have been happening here. A lot of this starts with the New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, who honestly is an extremely poor representation of anything sensible or anything logical. This is the same man that one day was telling you to go to the Chinese New Year parade and then days later was calling for martial law. And now he also has been flip-flopping on statements with the police, protecting them in one instance, attacking them in another. It's important to note here that even his own daughter was arrested by the NYPD, so you could understand the relationship between this man and the police officers of this city is definitely very heated. De Blasio has been rejecting calling in the National Guard. He has even ordered police officers not to wear protective gear because it is scary, and he has called for police officers, with the mayor recently saying that an officer that pulled out a gun during this protest should have his gun and badge taken away from him. This, of course, after a viral video that was edited, reached millions of views online, which sparked outrage. The NYPD, of course, responded, saying that that tape was edited and, quote, manipulated, and releasing the full length of that video, which shows before that incident an officer being very violently hit with an object upside of the head. So obviously, with all of these escalations, especially last night where police officers in the Bronx were viciously ran over by a car, as these events escalate, you obviously see the deteriorating relationship between the mayor and the police force of this city. And this is why, according to some, and what I've been assuming from the last couple days, is why the NYPD has been standing down in some instances. And with that happening, organized criminal elements have started to take advantage of that situation, and they started looting many stores all throughout New York City so they could personally enrich themselves. And it wasn't just high-end stores, it was also local mom and pop stores, and the level of criminality was definitely fervent last night, to say the least, which I've been warning and telling people is happening on purpose so people beg for the police, so people beg for the military, so people beg for martial law, so people beg for their rights and freedoms to be eviscerated. Do you see the kind of cycle that's unfolding here that I've been seeing, that I've been calling out, and I've been pulling my hair out because no one is freaking listening to it? Now, because of all of this, we have Trump saying things like New York has been lost to thugs and lowlifes, and even the governor of New York is coming out and is saying the city has failed the people here, which it definitely has. And he is even floating the idea of removing Bill de Blasio as mayor of New York City. And while all of this is going on, Bill de Blasio even released a video saying that everything's under control and people are being, quote, overwhelmingly calm and, quote, peaceful. So yeah, safe to say that's the current situation that New York City is in, and it's safer to say that it's only going to get worse from here, as of course the cycle of violence continues. Another thing worth thinking about throughout this entire saga is that the NYPD has an operating budget of $6 billion, with a B, dollars yearly, funded by the taxpayers. They have 38,000 officers. They have CIA intelligence capabilities, officers infiltrating groups all around the world with their own spying operations. And now there's some people saying we need more authority for them, we need more money for them. I mean, this entire situation is absolutely ridiculous. It's a sham, and it needs to be rejected and called out. But that's what's going to happen, as of course the violence is going to be increasing. As last night we saw police officers being run over, we saw them being shot, and some of them have even been killed. And with that, obviously, there's going to be a very strong reaction. And of course, we're going to see the continual back and forth, people only highlighting one side without looking at it objectively. People will make others victims when it's convenient for them, and villains of people that they disagree with, when in reality, I think we could all agree, this violence, this criminality, this looting needs to stop immediately. But there's some people condoning actions like this. There's some people condoning aggressive police actions, and again, violence is not the way here. You have to question everything you see right now and try to see it from a rational point of view. It's very difficult, but if we don't, more people will get hurt, including innocent people like this woman's sister who was shot and killed by a random person shooting into a crowd. Her story is just as important as all the other stories, but yet I highly doubt we'll be seeing non-stop mainstream media coverage because of this particular incident. Again, the criminality, the violence needs to stop on all sides. It is blind, it is unjust. Many innocent people are being affected by this, including things that we depend on and need, like these cars that are used to driving around impaired, handicapped people that are now destroyed because of looting. Businesses, organizations, even, quote, progressive ones. We have to understand when we start depending on violence, it will lead to our undoing. Don't believe any of the celebritards out there or personalities. It is more important than ever to do your own independent thinking, because most of them will do anything for a buck and shouldn't be trusted. They have no principles. They only do what is popular. And some of these people were the ones telling you to stay home and that we're all in this together just a few days ago. The bigger truth that you need to understand here is that we are alone in this. You're on your own. Shouts out to all the incredible individuals out there that are doing whatever they can to bring people together to help. More people like this need to be highlighted and used as an inspiration for all of us to take action against, of course, this contrived, engineered, pushed on civil conflict that all of us are heading towards. So yeah, that's the situation that we're in. If you thought I missed something, if you thought I got something wrong, let me know why in the comment section down below. I always appreciate your input. I always appreciate your perspective. We could only grow with, of course, coming together and calmly, peacefully being able to talk together. YouTube doesn't want you to see this video, so share it with your friends and family members. The few of you that do are very lucky to see it. Thank you so much for being here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more.